Now we have to write the number game JavaScript file. Create a new file called numbergame.js. This is going to have two functions in it. First function is being called checkGuess. Next function is going to be called restart. So I'm going to throw in our max value. Set it to 20. I said 1 to 20. And let's put a number in here. So my number equals math.floor math.random times max, add 1, let guesses equal to 0. And now what we want to do is we wanted to take the document, get the element by ID, and we're going to grab the ID of max, because that is right there. And I want to do the inner HTML and set it to max. All right, let's look at that now. There we go. Now it says 1 to 20. Awesome. So now we have to write the functions. So checkGuess, well, obviously you guessed. So increase the guesses by 1. And then let your guess goes document, get element by ID. And what ID are we looking for? Well, we're looking for our guess. And I'm going to set the value. So that'll have the, let's say 20, if I guess 20. We're going to have a response. Currently nothing, because we haven't checked anything yet. So first, if your guess is the same as my number, then you got it. So response equal to yes, my number is my number, exclamation point. Else, well, didn't get the number. So question is, which way is it? So we can say if your guess is less than my number, well then it's too low. Otherwise, it's too high. Okay, so now we get all that stuff. We need to actually display it back to the form. So the first thing I'm going to do is update the value for the guesses, number of guesses. So I'm going to do document, get element by ID. What ID is it? Number of guesses. So remember that number of guesses is actually an input type. To populate that, we would grab the value and set it to guesses. Now we need to also get the response. And what is the response? Response, which is a paragraph tag. And this is a paragraph, so inner HTML. And that will be equal to response. And finally return false, so that it doesn't refresh the form. So now we're going to do restart method. I'm going to first just do an alert. This is starting a new game, so it knows that you know you're starting a new game. It's really excited, so a couple exclamation points. Then I'm going to grab this, use the variable, grab a new number, set the guesses back to 0, copy these over, from here to make the response an empty string, and that will reset the form back to the way it was.